Greetings again, everyone. JLB here. As we're continuing on with our Disney Anthology Series Review mini-series, our journey takes us into the time period between 1979 and 1981. Still during the Dark Ages, but just before the light at the end of the tunnel, but we'll get to that in the next segment. But anyway, on with the show. Now, in September of 1979, Disney agreed to the network's request for changes to the program. They were still on NBC at this point. Now, the show ended up getting its title shortened to Disney's Wonderful World, and they updated the opening sequence by having a computer-generated logo and disco theme music. But they largely kept the same format. But the problems of the show ended up continuing, because as a result of the rating strength of 60 Minutes, compounded by low ratings, increasingly less original material, and frequent preemptions, primarily due to NFL games being broadcast on TV, NBC ended up canceling Disney in 1981. One factor that was beyond the control of either Disney or NBC was a 94-day 1980 strike by the Screen Actors Guild that ended up cutting a number of shows from the 1980-1981 season, but nonetheless, the damage was done. Now, following NBC's announcement that it would drop the anthology series, CBS ended up picking up the program and began airing on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern in September of 81. Despite a more elaborate credit sequence and another title change to simply Walt Disney, the series format remained unchanged. So during the 81-82 season, the series had a full season's worth of material again, but little new stuff. Among the little that they actually had were a handful of pilots based on Pollyanna, Escape to Witch Mountain, and the Apple Dumpling Gang, but only the last one sold and became the half-hour sitcom Gunshy the following season, one of the studio's first entries in that sort of genre. The 1983 season had enough material to fill in the time slot, but almost all of it was pre-existing. The only exception was the celebrity-laden opening ceremony of Epcot right here in Florida on October 23rd. It also didn't help matters that NBC slotted the family-friendly sitcoms like Different Strokes and Silver Spoons at 8 and 8:30, respectively, up against Walt Disney to draw children away from CBS. But after moving to Tuesday at the beginning of 83, it went on hiatus in February 15, while the aforementioned Guy Shy took up the second half of its time slot. When it came back for summer reruns on May 3rd, it was still on Tuesday at 8 p.m., and its final network broadcast was on September 24th, bringing an uninterrupted 29-year run of all three networks to a close. And the end of the show coincided with the launch of the studio's cable TV network we all know and love today, the Disney Channel. That's right, it got its start in 1983, I believe? Yeah, I think in 1983. Anyway, while ratings were a factor of the final decision to end Walt Disney from Walt Disney Productions' then CEO E. Carton Walker, who actually felt that having both the show and the new channel will result in cannibalization of viewership, the new channel will provide a home for the show and reruns for the next 2 decades. But for the time being, Disney's presence on U.S. network TV would be limited to the occasional holiday special, theme park anniversary, or cartoon compilation, which is kind of partially the reason why they only show Christmas parades from the Disney parks these days. And of course, things would end up changing a little bit for the better, in my opinion, between 1986 and 1988. But we'll get to that when we get to it next time. So until then, have a magical day, and I'll see you all next time.